Welcome to Crowning Around, where every woman wears a crown, whether she's 17 or 70. I'm Joan Caliendo, and this is the space where magic happens when women empower women. Each week, we'll dig into topics like ageism, stepping into your power, and everything in between. And today, we're kicking it all off with a queen in her own right. Me, Ms. New York Senior America.
Hi. Good evening, everyone, welcome to Crowning Around. This is our inaugural show, and I couldn't be more excited to have a dear, dear friend with me that shared every step of the way of competition in the crazy world of pageantry that we're going to get into, and I'm so excited to be here tonight. So let me begin by saying that this is our opening sparkle. This is what we're going to call the first 2 to 3 minutes of every show, which is let me introduce myself to you and what is expected of this program. So first of all, please note that we're here to have a good time, that this is not going to solve any big world problems or global issues, but we're here to discuss what makes us tick and why we're here and what a good time we've had together so far. And the journey continues. So please let me introduce to you my very first guest, and I wouldn't have it any other way. You may know her and her dear friend Linda from their amazing show called Chasing Fabulous that I've been a 3-timer on.
That's right.
She's so much more than just the CEO of Poppy Lane.
Oh my God.
She is an entrepreneur in her own right. She is a co-contestant in the crazy world of pageantry that we did in 2024. Which seems like a long time ago because it was over a year ago now. And she is also the author of a brand new book that we're going to introduce you to this evening. Now, I am going to say the title of it, but I'm going to ask her to correct me if I'm wrong, because this is the segment called The Queen's Court. And even though this is not a picture of her on the cover, it very much resembles her and all of her photography. But this is called Network Like a Boss. But what's the tagline?
Without feeling like a salesy weirdo.
Okay, that's the part that no one knows how to spell. And that's the part that just makes it uniquely Monica Stoller. So welcome my very, very first guest, co-contestant, CEO, entrepreneur, woman who does everything. We sat together yesterday and tirelessly in my kitchen with Linda created the opening to this show. And I am forever indebted to you for that because my technology skills, dinosaur, not really up to 2025 standards. But yet here I am on my own podcast tonight. So let's relax and enjoy. I'm just going to take my leg down now because
looked pretty good up there.
It was pretty good to be up there. Yeah, those are the pickleball legs. Okay, and we're going to start with interviewing my first guest. So obviously, you have to understand that the pictures behind me are really going to tell a little bit of the context and the story of which the two of us are a part of. So let's start with the images behind us so that we can get to know each other, meaning my audience. We know each other. Yeah. And let me explain to you what you see behind you. So this is the New York Senior America.
I'll be Vanna. I'll be Vanna.
Banner, Vanna, all of the above. These are the contestants that competed with me last year in the 2024 Miss New York Senior America pageant. We were a tight group from the beginning because none of us had done pageants before. This was very foreign to all of us. And we decided that we were going to go all in and do it together. So let me start by saying there's Monica and her little cowboy Ohio getup that, she bedazzled and rhinestoned herself. Next to her is a lady who introduced herself to me day one by saying her name was Khan. And I said, "What's your last name?" And she said, "Artist." And I said, "Really? Interesting. Is that real?" And she said, "Yes, that's my name." And she was quite the character, and we love her for it. In the middle is Miss Lisa Spatola from Sayville, New York, because that's how we were introduced to her over and over again. That is me and my daughter's 19. No, actually, she wasn't born in 19. And my daughter's 2000 and maybe 15 dance costume that I rigged myself into. We'll get into what happened to that later on. And next to me is Miss Ginger Bonner, who is really an angel for real in her attire, depicting pretty much what she does at Amber Court, which is a facility in Westbury that she is the program project entertainment director for, and she's just outstanding. Up at the top is, first night of rehearsals. What you can't see is that it's 12 degrees in that room. And we were freezing.
We were so cold.
So cold. And we were
I don't remember being
bitterly,
that cold ever.
Bitterly frozen,
Bitterly
solid.
cold.
So those smiles and that huddle together is really for heat. And underneath is the final picture of us at the gala when I won the contest, which we'll get into.
Thank you. Thank you, little baby Jesus, that Joan won this pageant. That's all I got to say.
And okay, so let's start with what is the pageant about? Why are 60-year-old women dressed in this attire? And what brings us to the table tonight? So we're going to start with Monica. What brought you into the world of pageantry at the age of 60?
Karaoke.
Karaoke. Tell us more.
I love some good karaoke.
You are good at it.
And my husband, Ernie, is a karaoke master.
He is.
So for years, he was going to karaoke out at Wild Rose, out in Farmingdale, and he was going all these places, and I didn't really go. And then he found a place over in Levittown, and he's like, we have to go to this karaoke. I'm like, all right. So we go over there, and it was like on a Thursday night or something. And, I was less than thrilled. Just going to be honest about it. I was not that happy about going there.
All right.
And we go there, and there's little Curtis H. Maxwell,
our DJ.
And there's a whole table of these ladies that are 70, 80, 90 years old. What are they doing?
Our cameo sisters.
And they are as blinged out as you are right now.
Yeah. It's all about the bling.
Out too, but
it's all about the bling.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got CJ with the bling leggings. We've got these ladies with and I'm like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
So we kept going to, we went the next week. We went to karaoke. We went there. And then we said, well, let's have Ernie's birthday here. So we invited Linda and Mark to go with us.
Yes.
And I said, Linda, you got to see these ladies. And I don't know. It was just, and Linda and I were both 59 at the time. So we're like, what are you people doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we have a pageant. I go, what do you mean you got a pageant? What does that mean? You're 90. What do you mean you have a pageant? And let me tell you, growing up in the Midwest, I'm not a pageant person.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Southerners tend to be.
Yeah, they do, but not this. No.
You're Midwest.
We don't have Miss National Cow pageant. We do not have that.
Come on now.
But
blue ribbons, pies.
We could start that though.
Come on now.
I'd be excited about that. I'm up for anything.
Okay.
So we go there, and then I don't know. We got to be really good friends with them. And you know what I said about them? I said, these ladies, here they are. And, I'm making fun because I'm laughing because I said 70, 80, 90. But let me tell you something. I was 59 going, and then we became 60. And I said, when I'm 65, when I'm 70, when I'm 80, I want to be that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to be in my house
yes.
waiting for somebody to come and bring me a meal.
In stretchy pants.
Well, I do like the stretchy pants.
We've talked about this. The attire, the uniform for 60-year-olds.
However, mine would have rhinestones on
Of course.
Or in your case, they would be held together with duct tape.
We'll get to it.
That's right. So anyway, we just started going with them, and then they started telling us more. And then they're like, well, when you guys turn 60, you have to be in the group. And we're like, okay. And so then they started saying, well, you have to be in the pageant to be in the group. So we're like, all right. So, and Linda's like, oh, heck no. And I'm like, all right. Because that's what happens. I mean, just, bring it. And I'll be like, hey, that sounds like fun.
So they dared you. You liked their look. They were confident. They got up and sang every week.
Yes.
And they convinced you that you should try out for this pageant.
They did.
And when you got to the first rehearsal and saw the application and what it entailed, what were you thinking?
Well, I remember sitting in the back row we had it in the library in the basement, right?
Yeah.
And I remember sitting in the back row, and then first there was a few other ladies there.
There were a few characters.
There was a few other ones that didn't make it all the way to the pageant. Understandably,
and rightfully so.
So then here comes Joan, and I was just like, oh, I'm not going to beat that one. And then I'm like, all right, well, we'll just be friends then. So you sat down by me, and I go, hey, I nudged her and I go, hey, I think we should hold hands. And we did hold hands.
And we did hold
because
hands.
we needed to hold hands.
Because we needed to jump together.
We were
out of our league.
Yes.
We were out of our league when we saw what it entailed. So before
Right.
you go any further, let me explain to you people what it entails to be in this pageant.
Yes.
It's not just sparkle and bling.
No.
It has a very, very interesting element to it called your
Right.
philosophy of life.
Right.
Now, your philosophy of life has to be delivered in 30 seconds. And it can't be just butterflies and rainbows and walking on the beach and holding hands.
It could have butterflies in it.
Could have butterflies in it, and we heard that one. But it has to be something that you're going to stand by, right? And it's going to have to be something that you can get across in 30 seconds. Now, I was a school teacher for 39 years. In my brain, that was easy peasy.
Right.
I wasn't going to struggle with my philosophy of life. I went home, I wrote it on index cards, and I was ready. Pre-chat GPT. Just letting you all know that was my intention to write my own stuff.
We know you're an overachiever. You don't have to keep going there, but we know it. We already know that.
So I said, this is going to be simple for me. The panic that it created amongst the other contestants was overwhelming. One lady started singing, Con. She talked about a flap floblum, which she made for each of us and gave it to us as a gift at the end of the pageant.
Flap floblum was a character that
she created
in her brain to be able to deal with problems.
It's an amoeba meets a paramecium meets a centipede.
We don't quite know what it was,
and she broke into song, and I said, this is the icebreaker. Like she is willing to be the character that she is and the creative genius that she is. And the rest of us can be fine with this. And we all were. So we got past the 30-second philosophy.
Yeah, we're sorry, Con. We did laugh at you
in the beginning when we didn't understand you.
Once we understood it, then we understood.
We understood you and we understood your name and the flap flop.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
Took us a minute.
As it should. Then we were told that we had to have a pageant walk. Honest to God, danced my whole life, thought that would be easy peasy.
No.
But no, Ginny Werner. She showed us how to cut corners, never have our backs facing the audience. And that was a little difficult to turn in high heels and present oneself and have all eyes on you and not trip. And
you notice that she said, we had to do it in high heels. All right. Now, I have literally not worn high heels for 25 years.
Well, you're 5'11". I'm 5'2" with a big hair day going on. I'm not a big person.
I'm like, what do you mean I can't wear flat shoes? But it is true.
It's true.
I mean, let's say this. Okay. It is very true that high heels make you walk in a different way.
True.
Okay. That it makes you walk a little bit. You can gliding
or tripping.
There's never been anyone in my life. All right, I'm going to be 62. Not one person in my entire life has ever looked and go, oh, that Monica. Boy, she glides when
she's
she
a glider.
She is not a glider. Okay. I'm a boom, boom, like
she's the opposite of glide.
I'm opposite of glide. Whatever that is, that's what I am. So, oh my gosh, it was something, but it was hard. And I'll tell you, listen, I've been speaking for 100 years. I mean, I do a lot of speaking engagements. I do a lot of, I'm a salesperson for 36 years. I've been doing all of this. But let me tell you, getting up for that 30 second philosophy, even though I believe, like, my philosophy was authenticity, because the way my philosophy ended up was be yourself because everyone else is taken.
And that's you.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
Like, and I just tell me what you want to do and I'll probably do it.
Right.
Unless it's,
but in your own way, because you're a unique individual.
Right. So it was, but I'm telling you, it was hard.
That was hard. But the walk was hard as well.
Yes.
All right, we got through that. Then the talent segment comes in.
Oh, God.
Yet again, they said to me, what is your talent? I can give you a great lesson plan on the assassination of Lincoln and make you all smile and be happy at the end of that lesson plan. But that's not a talent. That's what I do for a living. So I said boldly, I tap dance, which I haven't done since I'm 10. But I did tap dance.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? I thought you were still teaching tap when you came
Zumba, my friend. No tapping. But my daughter, Christiana.
Honestly, I think we got bait and switched.
No.
I'm just saying that on my
wonderful
end.
Tapper. And I knew I could still do that. Of course, I took her tap shoes and ran, went in my garage and created a routine. Again, hadn't done it in many years, but if I was going to put myself out in this pageant, I was going to do what I thought I was comfortable doing, tapping.
Exactly.
Okay, so we got past the tapping. Monica did a country western song, but you started with a different song originally.
I did.
What was your first song?
The first one was "I Have a Dream" from Mamma Mia. Was that the one from Mamma Mia? The first one?
I dreamed a dream.
Yeah, something like that.
Was it from Les Mis?
And
No.
listen, I'm not a singer either. Like I sang when I was young in the choir at the church, but I'm not a singer. But then I started singing karaoke.
You're a singer. You maybe not a soloist. Maybe you never sang solo, but you're a singer. Okay.
I mean, but it's fine. So then Lori Morgan happens to match my voice. So I picked Except for Monday.
Never heard of it.
I know. You know it now though, don't you?
Heard it a lot since that day.
Yeah.
But when she came out, I said, I'm going to be her best fan. She brought out a tambourine. I'm going to clap along with this song.
You're going to be
what the hell is this song?
You're going to be like, I'm your only fan. That's what you're going to do.
I clapped away till my hands were bleeding.
Did.
I really did. But I was throwing her off because she was trying to tambourine tap. And she was like, shut up with the clapping. But again, never heard the song. You know, my favorite country western. And then I fell in love with it because it was you. It was so you. It was such a you song.
I freaking hate Mondays.
Who doesn't?
And that's what the song is about. It's about Mondays. And we're never good anyway.
And of course, we had a time limit on how long we could sing or dance for 2 minutes and 42 seconds.
And we had to come up with costumes.
And we had to come up with costumes.
Okay, this is about that's what the costumes
So
are
if
funny.
you're looking at the graphic that we showed you earlier, this is all of us in our costumes for our talent. Okay.
Yeah.
Yet again, thank you, Christiana. Those are her pants from her dance studio, Kovacs in Bayshore, that I poured myself into. I don't want to tell you how long it took me to get into those and out of those. And that's a bra that she wore for a separate dance and a little jacket. But the problem with that jacket is
now you can see. Let me just narrate. Let me just narrate this as you're
talking.
Please
zoom in.
Okay. If you go here, you see this. There's a rip here, and there's a rip here, and there's a rip here. This is what happened.
Yeah.
But this
it was deteriorating before
This picture's from the pageant.
No, that's the picture the night before that we took the
it
dress
is the
rehearsal.
Night before?
Yes, the night before.
Okay.
So we left all of our clothing at the Merrick Theater.
Mm-hmm.
So it was about 12 degrees Fahrenheit when we were performing, and they must have set it at 0 degrees Fahrenheit for the night. And when I returned the next day for the actual pageant, that entire vest disintegrated.
Yeah.
So when I went to put it on, it was shredded.
Yeah.
And God bless Khan, once again, kind human being. She was giving me toupee tape.
Yes.
To try to tape me in
I forgot about
to the vest.
I forgot about that.
Bueno. Was not working. So our stagehand, Kiara, came over to me and said, what are you going to do? I said, I can't dance in the bra. That's not acceptable. So do you have duct tape? And she said, I do. I said, is it black? And she said, yes. And they duct taped me into that vest. And no one knew.
And a week later, she still had the vest. No, I'm just kidding.
I brought it to your show.
Yeah.
And that's the story of the vest, which is the accurate story. You couldn't tell because, the tapping was so brilliant that people were not concentrating on the shredded vest. But and when I turned around and shook my booty, that was the scene stealer. So that was what pushed me right over the edge. Although they didn't love that at Nationals, they love it in New York. But and the other person that had a little bit of a faux pas was our angel Ginger, who decided to do a song called That's Life.
Oh, that's right. And she had a montage video.
A montage video of all the ladies and gentlemen that she helps at Amber Court. And she really is a blessing to
just
those
to
people.
say, Amber Court is a senior living facility over in Westbury that is just really great.
Unbelievable.
And we do a lot of things over there with Ginger. And finish your story. I have to stop.
They dropped down the slideshow projector so that we can look at all of her residents, of which maybe 40 of them were in the audience with their walkers and ready to cheer her on with signs. And the problem was we couldn't get the music to sync with the video. The video wouldn't work.
Right.
So we had our own little projector gate.
Right.
Which created a 40-minute lapse in the pageant, and Ginger was getting upset. She handled it like a trooper, I will say
She
that.
did. She rallied.
And she rallied.
She really did
and
rally.
Within a 45-minute span, somehow Herb, Ginny's husband, was able to figure out how to get the thumb drive to work, and that's life went on, and Ginger performed beautifully. So we got through the talent portion. Now, the next portion is something called the interview. Right, which is what we started the day with very, very early in the morning. And there were 5 prestigious judges, of which we were told who they were. And you were asked to dress in formal attire and walk into the room and have 5 minutes to speak with 5 judges. So not a math major, but I'm guessing 1 minute per judge.
You think
would be fine?
Now, see,
get the points across.
But I must have missed that part. I missed that day in school about 1 to 1. I missed that day.
So what did you do on your interview?
I only got through 3 of the judges. Now, I thought anybody that knows me knows, and you will see this as you get to know me if I'm on this podcast with her, because I never stop talking, and everyone knows this. They're just like, hey, I gotta go. I get that about myself, but I thought I made it through. I thought I was going to make it through.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden CJ's like, no, what? And then this one here comes out and says, oh, I made it through twice. I'm like, what in God's name did you just go
to the point?
Did you just grunt?
No, get to the point and move on. I answered the question and moved on and said lovely things to each of them.
I just don't understand how you did that.
Listen,
I don't get it.
It's timing.
And thus why you wore the crown and I do not.
30% of the scoring, baby, is based on the interview. Those were the 2 things I had to ace: the interview and the tap dancing.
You did it.
And
I
did it. And I did it. Okay. So that brings us to, what is the last piece of the pageant that you thought set the tone for why someone would win? So you had your interview, you had your philosophy, the gown walk, and the talent. What would you say was the last piece?
Well, I would say probably don't almost pass out on stage, because I did that.
That would be the answer.
That didn't work out that much. That didn't work out that good for me. But I didn't pass out on the stage.
You did not, but you were going down.
I was going down. Well, because we were still in this whole thing of somebody was talking and talking and talking, and we weren't supposed to be on there for that long. We were supposed to be on there for a little bit.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden I could feel it. Like I was like, oh, something's happening. I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot. I got too hot because the lights were hot and everything.
Gown.
It was just a lot. And then Ginger was supposed to go off, but she forgot. So I'm standing there going, what am I going to do? So I'm like, how can I get off of this stage that is going to be the least
noticeable?
Noticeable was the right word.
Yeah.
So I just knew that it was within 2 seconds I was out. I was going to be on the ground, and then there would be a whole thing, and there would be ambulances. I'm like, no, we're leaving. So I just kind of stepped back a step, as I was taught in the gown walking.
It's time to
I stepped back. I didn't show my butt to the audience.
You did not.
And I slithered right behind that line of people.
Yes.
And Joan, being the caring, loving mother person that you are, is like, oh my God. And then everybody's freaking out. Then everybody comes, everybody realizes that they were supposed to have left off the stage.
Well, I may have grabbed hands.
Yeah, you could have.
It was a field trip. It was time to go. And I may have grabbed and yanked hands, but we got through it. Listen, this pageant was a once in a lifetime experience.
It was.
We are both so happy that we did it.
Very, very happy that we did it.
It created a lifelong friendship.
That's what I'm saying. I would never have met you.
And a lifestyle.
How would we have ever met each other?
No chance.
Unless I went and
country
random
bars. Nope.
Pickleball
line dancing.
ain't happening.
Nope.
No.
Pickleball, yes.
Yeah. Well,
brought
you,
her once,
not for me.
Not for you.
And I am gonna I have good intentions.
You have good intentions.
Everybody knows that. I have good intentions.
All right. So now let's get past the pageant and let's talk about you as a CEO, an entrepreneur, and now an author. Tell us about the book, because, by the way, without kidding, this show is really about taking ourselves lightly, but we're really serious people and passionate about what we do and what we're capable of doing very well. And although it seems like the middle chapter of our lives, some would say the back 9, I'm not saying that. No. I'm saying the middle chapter of our lives. Monica is a grandma. She has a very enriched life at home with her husband, but she really is capable of doing a variety of different things, including this year writing a book.
Right.
So we have been networking with tremendous amounts of people at various health expos and beauty affair expos, of which I'm getting another award.
Getting an award
for my legacy.
For your wonderful
You're
getting one for your wonderful business acumen. I'm not laughing at her. I'm laughing with her, just so you know.
That's what it is.
Your wonderful business acumen. I'm going to say that from now on.
Remember when I won the business award?
Remember when you won?
Lou was very surprised by that. Okay, but anyway, digressing.
Yeah.
This book is really a tool to help all of the people that we have encountered who have small businesses
and hate networking.
Because
let me tell you, it's most of you, and I know it. And we go to these events.
Yeah,
okay, we go to these. Like I've been in sales almost my whole life, selling contract furniture to hospitals and colleges. Okay, so I've just been a salesperson. So networking is part of my life. But me being the person that I am, I don't have any fear of that. Like I don't have fear of walking into a room and then having somebody and asking somebody a question, or, oh, hey, what do you guys do? Right. Oh, here, I have a TV show, or I have this, I have that. So, but so many people that we meet have a problem. I mean, remember last year we went to Paulina's event? We went to Paulina's breakfast. It was like a high tea, and we're sitting at a table with 10 women, right? And all of those women, I bet 6 of the 10 said to me, I hate this.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm so nervous. I don't know what to say. Like, I feel like I don't have anything to give. I feel like I don't. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I look at you like you're here. So the reason that I wrote this book, and I've been working on this for a long time, is that I wanted to show people that you don't have to be scared, and why. I wanted it to be funny, number one. And I wanted to be able to help even younger people that are now coming up into the world in sales and saying, I got to go to these networking events. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I got to go in there, and then I'm going to sit like a lump. I'm going to go, or you drink too much because you want to get a little bit less inhibited, or you end up speaking with you end up in a group with all the people in your own group. So you leave there and you don't have anything.
Right. You didn't reach out to people across the aisle that could help you in a certain way.
So that's what the book is about what my experience has been and things that I've done over the past however many 30 years in networking, and how it can, if you do let some of those inhibitions go and you do just be yourself, it's going to work for you.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to do it as a business person, or even if you're getting into sales. If you're coming up, there's so many young people coming up into real estate, right? Or they're coming into all these sales jobs, and they want to network themselves. And, you know, each of us has a personal brand, right? You have your personal brand. I have my personal brand. I have my show brand. We all have brands of certain kind. Right. So you have to formulate in your mind, you have to be able to say, this is my message.
Okay, I'm going to close on this because we're going to take a commercial break. But I also want to say that I think with age comes that confidence.
Yes.
And I think what your book is also trying to say is you may have found it younger because that's your personality and your DNA.
Right.
But you are capable of this at any age. And because we're in the age of pivot and transitioning, this is a great guidebook for people who have retired from years of doing whatever it is they've done and now are looking to pursue something else. This is the way to network like a boss without a salesy weirdo pitch.
Right. Because that's what you do as a salesperson. You go in and you're like, oh my God, they just think I'm going to try to sell them something. And that's not the thing.
That's not the thing. All right. We're going to take a commercial break and we're going to come right back. So hold on.
Ever felt stuck with a home that just doesn't feel right anymore? Whether it's that outdated kitchen or the bathroom that needs a refreshed look, Twice as Nice Construction has got you covered. Family owned for over 20 years. Twice as Nice Construction has been providing beautiful new construction and additions and stunning remodels like kitchens and bathrooms. We're not just experts. We offer unbeatable quality and prices to help make your dream come true. Ready to start building your dream home or to give your kitchen and bathroom that much needed makeover? Contact Twice as Nice today and make your dream a reality. Visit twiceasniceremodel.com today for quality you can see and service you can trust. Twice the value, twice the commitment, twice as nice.
Hi, we're back. Okay, here we are. All right, so that was the segment entitled The Queen's Court.
Woohoo. I like it.
I think we got across the message that we're trying to convey on episode 1, which is, look, there's no time like the present. There's no reason to be intimidated by changing or pursuing different passions. Listen, I was very, very much not that person. I mean, an educator for 39 years, very much animated and excited and cheerleading coach and class advisor and SO and union representative. I did all of the little nuances at the school until there was nothing else I could do except teach driver's ed, and not a good plan. So I am saying to all of the women listening this evening, and some of the men, that once you retire and you change your perspective of what it is you'd like to do with the second half of your life, the sky is the limit. Yes. There's no limitations, or maybe it's the time to say, you know, I always would have liked to have done whatever.
1,000%.
Like this.
Exactly.
And let's try it. I'm gonna say this very frankly and honestly, because it's my show.
I love that about you.
When I was leaving school at Carl Place High School, greatest place on earth, 2 students of mine approached me to create a podcast in the school, which depicted the vision of students versus teachers. Like, when you're teaching, you have this, you know, this fantasy that everything you're saying is amazing and the students are hanging on every word and you're reaching them at every level, and the child that's struggling and so that has sensory issues, you're tapping into everything because you're a veteran teacher.
Right.
But that's not always the case. And the kids would tell me in a real sense, you know, that was way too fast, or I didn't really grasp the concept, or you're putting a lot of pressure on us. It was AP classes. And I said, let's do a podcast about this. And we went to the administration and I bought all the equipment, and I get it. The administration was concerned that students would say things that misrepresented the school.
Yeah.
And they were afraid that even though I was very good at curtailing what kids said, and there was always a respect level, a mutual respect between us, that somebody could say something that would be inflammatory.
Right.
So that got canned. Then I went to work for BOCES, and they said, do you have any great ideas for the BOCES program? And I said, how about a podcast? And they too were a little concerned about legalities and what people would say that reflected poorly against the state. Again, I get it. So here I am doing a podcast with no limitations. Thank you, Bobby.
Yay.
And I'm saying to myself, this is really something that I believe in.
Yes.
I think it's great for women to talk about their accomplishments, what drove them there, what inhibitions they had, how they overcame them, how they diversified what they were capable of doing and changed it. And let's talk about that every single week.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's doable and it's obtainable. And listen, this pageant, we're joking about it, and that's part of the repertoire today. This was a leap for all of us.
Oh my God.
This was definitely step out of your comfort zone, which is today's tiara tip, by the way.
Yes.
Here is today's tiara tip. Step out of your comfort zone, but make sure it's in high heels.
I like it.
You'll like it.
I like that.
And that is really what you're seeing 5 women behind you doing. We were all uncomfortable, right? Now, I'm going to take it another step further. After you win this pageant, you have to go compete nationally. Okay, nationally.
And thus, let's go back to what I said at the beginning about how freaking happy I was that you won and not me. Because I just telling you people, I did not think this through. Okay, like everybody else put a lot of thought into it. I did not do that. I said, yeah, sure, I'll be in the pageant. I didn't think about the of what if you win?
What happens when you win?
Oh shoot, you got to be in parades. You got to go to the national thank you, Jesus, and I will be there for. I was there for you every single second.
Yes, you were.
And you know, I would have been there for anybody, but I'm telling you, that is not my bag. I can be on my show. We can be on our show, Linda and I, and be crazy and walk around. I could do anything, but not that.
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
And but you were so good.
Well, listen, I was an individual that didn't fit the mold, and I think that was part of my appeal. So here I am going to Atlantic City now to compete against 38 other women. It started as 48, but
national pageant,
couple of states
national
didn't show up.
in Atlantic City.
National pageant at the Tropicana Hotel,
Yes.
which has the largest
Yes.
stage in all of Atlantic City.
Yes.
And same spiel. You got to do your philosophy and tap dancing, my art, tap dancing, but I decided to change my outfit because of the problem with the vest. And I created a great jumpsuit. It was fabulous. And I went there with the premonition that I'm just going to try my best.
Yes.
I'm really just going to try my best. But what I didn't take into consideration was the fact that, first of all, it was a whole week. And up at 7
5 or 6 days.
5 days, up at 7 and finishing rehearsals at 7 at night.
Yeah.
And you get to meet some lovely, lovely ladies, but some of them are pageant women. And
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong
I'm going to
with
be that
that.
person. That's my role on the show, is to say not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay?
Because I do want you to do that, because what I'm going to start to say is going to not be so great.
Yeah.
So they put you in these little clusters, which are called your dressing rooms for the week. And that's really who you're bonding with. You're
Yes.
changing, you're seeing all kinds of body parts, and you're seeing costumes and
were you cold
and freezing, and everyone's trying to help each other. So I met lovely people, Miss Connie Harness from Pennsylvania.
Oh, Connie Harness, what a nice
like
lady.
Snow White, like
Yeah.
Every day she was calling into the well to find her
Yes.
prince.
Oh,
She was
it was
fabulous.
she was so cute.
Fabulous.
We love you,
a
Connie-
woman of
Connie
God.
Harness.
A woman of God.
Yes.
I'm telling you, she was lovely. My closest roommate was Miss Patty Wells from Kentucky, which, by the way, I took everybody at face value. If you represented Kentucky, I thought you were from Kentucky.
Right.
I dragged Monica over to meet Miss Ohio. She's like, I'm from Florida.
I go,
What?
no, I go, because I'm a big Buckeye. So I go over there and I said, OH. And she just looked at me and I go, what's happening right now? Like, if you are from Ohio, you know that the next two letters coming out of your mouth are I-O.
I know it.
Even well, you have to know it.
I have
'cause,
to know it.
You know,
because
we're
of Penn
rivals.
State. But anyway, so Miss Kentucky, Patty Wells, super fit.
Oh my God.
Incredibly dynamic person who's been in pageants many
Yes.
times before, and a tough cookie at 5 feet tall. This is what she said to me. Now, it's going to be a little off color, but that's what happens on
Listen,
the show.
it's your show.
So she says to me, because she's seeing me the whole week interacting with everybody and being my authentic self. When I saw
Yes.
Miss New Jersey, I said, we got to take a picture.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm from Staten Island. I go, I can tell.
Yeah, why?
And we bonded.
Right.
So
Wait. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
not that there's anything wrong with that. I have family there. My sister Anne.
I
and her
forgot to
family.
add that part in.
Okay, so I said to Miss Kentucky, what got you into pageants? And she was explaining everything to me, and she said, "Now, Miss New York,
This is the best ever.
I must tell you that this week you must not cuss. There's no cursing, and there's no swearing." And I looked at her and I said, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
That was the funniest
And we
thing
became
ever.
friends.
And she's texting me and May were at the pageant with Joan, and we are laughing. Like, literally, she's texting us, and we're like, "Oh my God, do we need to come and save you?"
No,
Like,
I'm being my authentic self. This is who I was. Miss
You were.
Hawaii was hoolering all over the place, and she was lovely, and she knew May from last year. And then, of course, I met my heart of hearts, Miss Judy, who represented Miss Wyoming, even though she was from Colorado and will be representing Miss North Dakota this year. So she was a little confused whenever they called her up to say her name. But I adored Miss Judy. And Miss Judy and I became fast friends because I helped her with her dancing skills. Now, she was a fighter pilot in the Navy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, an amazing, amazing woman, but she couldn't find her way to the back line.
Right.
Her life depended on it.
You couldn't find her most of the
I
time.
couldn't find Judy. And I would tell her every day, Judy,
Where's Judy?
do the right thing.
Judy, where you at, Judy?
So she and I, again, became fast friends, as I did with Miss Texas, the lovely, lovely and endearing Miss Sue from Texas, who did not let me in on the fact that at 88 years young, she decided to learn how to sing at a university in Texas. And when she got up to sing, she was an opera singer.
I don't think I knew that either.
No one knew it. She was a sweet as pie lady. And
Well,
she's 88 and I'm helping her on and off the trolley as one does. And then she got up to sing and blew the doors off the Tropicana.
yes.
So
She was fabulous.
she was fabulous.
I mean, on the train, I mean, listen, Joan had a few things that could have gone down
very
south.
wrong.
Okay. There were wolves, just saying.
You know,
There were some wolves involved.
Some of the pageant women don't pay attention.
No, there was wolves. There was, okay. And just so you know,
Yeah.
in the Tropicana, you need to wear a parka
It's freezing.
because I was so cold that
Yeah.
I had to go buy, I don't even know what I bought. Like I wanted to wear sweatpants.
Yeah.
It was so freaking cold in there.
So cold and uncomfortably cold.
Uncomfortably
But
cold.
you know,
Yeah.
it got us through the week.
But it was,
anyway.
but you made us laugh the whole
We
entire time. And
laughed
I
the
was
whole
convinced,
time.
and I'm still convinced that you should have won. And you came in
second runner up.
second,
Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Listen to me. All of the people that were involved in the final five
yeah,
were phenomenal pageant women who had been in
Phenomenal.
pageants before. I was the lone
Yes.
wolf and also the shortest. And the woman who won, Natalie, God bless her, she won. She sang like Whitney Houston. She looked like Vanessa Williams. She was in the Miss America pageant as a child, 19-year-old, 20-year-old. And when I came in second runner up, by the way, I'm very competitive and I thought I could really do it
not that there's anything wrong with that.
until we heard Natalie sing.
How'd you like that?
thought-
How'd you like me? Did you
was
like that?
perfect.
Snippet? Okay, good.
So when I
like
heard
that.
Natalie sing, I was like, okay, I defer. I get it. So, and Lou said the same thing to me. You got this. You got this.
got
Nobody's
this.
beating you
Oh, damn.
until we heard Natalie sing.
Yeah.
But anyway, great experience. Fantastic. I did better than I ever thought. I still will go by and stand by my belief system that I was unique. I was different. I wasn't a pageant girl. I had a great interview. One of the judges was from Brooklyn. We bonded over Bay Ridge and diversity and calzones, and it was fantastic. And here I am today.
Was she Miss like Alabama or something from New Jersey? We don't know what's going on. We have no idea.
one was really from the state they were from.
No, they weren't.
Okay. So I say to you that we're almost at the end of our first.
I can't believe it.
I know, it was wonderful. So I'm going to get to my crowning moment, which is my perspective of all of this. And I
Awesome.
want to hear from you. And we have 5 minutes left. So in a minute's time, now that this is all
I like
over,
that you're giving me those parameters because
minute.
it's hard for me.
what is your perspective now that you've been through the pageant and the world of pageantry? What's your perspective on the other side 1 year later?
For me personally, and I can only speak for me, I feel like women don't like to talk about themselves. Or they don't like to
True.
put themselves out there,
True.
right? Not everybody, but a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I have inhibitions with that. We all do at some point. It helped me to get past those last ones that I have, which is very scary for most people.
Yes.
But with my book and this, it's all the same thing. Please talk about yourself. You're fabulous.
You are.
I mean, when we came out of the pageant, we started our show called Chasing Fabulous, and that's what we do. Is we want you to know that it's okay.
Yeah.
We want to hear about you.
Yeah.
We want to hear about your business that you're
Right.
doing. We want to hear about the great things. We want to hear that you're beautiful. We want you to think that you're beautiful. We want
Yes.
you to think that your clothes are great. Or if you don't, then come and we'll help you.
Right.
That's what I took
That's
out
your
of
perspective
That. That's
a
my
year later.
perspective.
Okay, here's mine. 1 year later, 1 year after this whole crazy world, and unfortunately, our pageant is not going to take place this year. So here's my perspective. In the beginning, I took it lightly. I tried, and I thought, if I don't win, it's fine. I go back to
Right.
being who I am, a mother, a nurturer, an educator. But when I got into it and I
Mhm.
realized it was very empowering and opened up a lot of doors and opportunities for me to visit veterans and to go to assisted living
Right.
facilities and see women that are just not giving up at ages 70, 80, and 90. That's what I want to continue to do, God willing, with good health.
It's given us a platform.
It's given us a platform, as someone said to me at an event, at an expo. Put the crown on your head. Walk around the room with the crown on your head. You know why? That gives you a seat at the table.
Yes.
And that's because people want to talk to you now, which again, as a teacher, you kind of wait your turn to get to the table. But I always want to be in the room where it happens. That's a Hamilton reference for anybody that's into Hamilton.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to close with my royal invitation, which is what's going to be on the next episode, which we are going to have phone calls.
Yes.
So, which
Not that there's
I
anything
will share with you the phone
Wrong
number
spot.
and be happy to answer questions and or if you have comments, I would love to hear from you. But the next show is going to be entitled More Than a Tiara, because I don't want to get away from this. It's not about the crown. It's about the confidence.
Right.
So that's the other side of the equation. What I gained from this is much more confidence to put myself out there, to be openly accepted. And if I'm not, it's okay.
It's okay.
And we go elsewhere and find our people.
And if people aren't giving you the opportunities that you need, you have to make them for yourselves. And that's exactly what we're all doing. We have our shows. We're going to have some events. We're going to have a group of people. Like, we are going to support each other.
That's correct. So I'm thankful for you today. I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you, Bobby, at Paradise Studios. This is wonderful. The set is beautiful. Thank you to everybody who got me here, my friends.
Yay.
My intern, Victoria. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Victoria.
And for my family for supporting this crazy journey that I've been on. Thank you, Luke, Christiana, and Lou. I appreciate you and love you all. Thank you and have a good evening.
Bye.